How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. You have to deal with your personal ecology when you are trying to change any habit, right? No matter what the habit is, whether it's quitting drinking, smoking, stopping eating bad foods, bringing new habits into your life. You know, your personal ecology is what or how you deal with the consequences of what you're doing, right? You know, you have to look at the consequences. Look at it from the point of view of that everything you do has got an effect, you know, cause and effect. That whatever you do in the moment has an effect either straight away or down the line, or both. You know, when you drink alcohol, you've got a singular effect that happens now. So you get drunk, you taste the alcohol, whatever it is, and you get the feelings that you want out of that, right? From that level. You also get the consequences of whatever you've been using alcohol as a tool for. So you relax, you fall asleep, you forget about the problems that you have been dealing with all day, forget about the problems that you don't want to deal with, and then there's the long-term consequences, particularly of your drinking. You know, the physical, mental consequences of your drinking, and then the life consequences of you taking that, you know, all that time and energy and money and putting them, focusing them onto this one habit, right? So, you know, what's the opportunity cost of, you know, of all the things that you could have done, the things that you should have done, the things that you would have done or wanted to have done. You know, what's the opportunity cost in terms of money that you could have spent elsewhere, time that you could have spent elsewhere with other people, on educating yourself, you know, building up your intellect. These are all areas that fall within your own personal ecology, and you know, there's nobody else that's going to deal with it. You know, there's plenty of organisations that are out there to save the panda, or to save the silverback gorilla, or to stop the icebergs from melting. But there's no organisation out there that's going to stop Deirdre X from fucking up her own ecosystem. Only you are going to do that, you know. There's nobody else. You know, there's nobody else that's going to say to you, yes, you've got to eat the right foods if you want to stay healthy. You've got to look after your health. If you want to stay healthy, you've got to look after your exercise, get out there and move, stay active. You know, you've got to look after being active in your brain if you want to remain healthy in your brain. You know, I'm just saying that a lot of people are falling out with politicians and politics in general because of the decision-making process. You know, modern politics is set up around to satisfy short-term gain, to make the government of the time look good. But there are always long-term consequences to this that people have got to pay. It's like an addiction, isn't it? You know, it's like this spiral that Alan Carr talks about. You know, once you get into it, and you're in this spiral, this out of control spiral, you know, of short-term gain instead of, and looking at long-term pain and long-term consequences is very, very difficult to get out of that cycle. Because who's going to do it? You know, the politician who's got only 4 years to do his job. Otherwise, he'll get kicked out if he's too harsh and he really puts the measures that are necessary to change things and put things right. You know, so we've only got ourselves to blame really, because we've allowed this situation to fester and to come about in the long term. Anyway, that's a different story. I'm talking about, from a personal standpoint, we do exactly the same thing. It's our decision making that fosters short-term gain over long-term gain, and that short-term gain is always going to give us long-term consequences, right? The problem is with this way of living is that we have to deal with that long-term pain eventually. That long-term pain is going to come about and going to come back and bite us in the ass. And if the only thing that you've got to deal with that, if the only way you know how to deal with pain is through drinking or taking a drug, then guess what happens? You have to increase the drug to numb the pain. The more the pain, the more severe the pain gets, the more you have to increase the dosage of the drug. You've got to increase the dosage because of tolerance, because of the pain. The longer you do this, the harder it is to get away from it. So that's what I mean by your own personal ecology. You've got to think about the consequences, not only about tomorrow. That's as far as most people go, It's like, if I drink 20 pints now tonight, I'm going to have a hangover tomorrow morning, right? If I drink 20 pints tonight, what the fuck am I doing to myself in 10 years' time? I might not even get to 20 years' time, so there's no point in talking about that. What am I doing to myself in 5 years' time, 10 years' time? What am I doing to myself with this accumulation of, a bottle of wine a night, or 2 bottles of wine every second day, or whatever it is? We try and justify our things by looking at things in the short-term gratification, short-term consequences. This type of short-term gratification where you're taking a toxin into your body in order to feel a buzz, and we don't really look at what's going on beneath the surface in the short term, so short-term consequences, and we don't look at what's going to happen to us as people, as individuals in the long term, and how that long-term consequence is going to affect everything else in our lives, the people around us, our security, our health, spirituality, everything. So look, that's it for today. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you want me to make any videos on any subject at all, just let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best, or I'll point you out to a video that I've already done. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Take care of yourself, keep safe, remember your personal ecology. Onwards and upwards. Good luck.